Hey guys, sorry for the lack of activity lately. Things have been rather stressful. I'm having a lot of trouble processing everything. Especially all the violence that's going on in my nation's capital right now. For those of you who don't know, who haven't figured it out already, I am a United States American. I specify that because it seems oddly unspecific, frustratingly unspecific to me to mention, to call myself an American without specifying which of the several dozen American countries I live in. Anyway, the increased violence is not good. Now, some people have compared it to the property crime, the extensive property crime that took place during the Black Lives Matter and anti-fascist protests. There's a huge difference, people. There's a huge difference between storming the nation's capital heavily armed, visibly intending to take prisoners and harm people. Huge difference. That's totally different from protesters getting out of hand and smashing up some shop windows, a fire or two being set and quickly contained. You know, the protesters were not burning down cities. There were a few that got out of hand thanks to agitators whose sole purpose was to detract from their call from from their cause, and of course thanks to some people whose fight or flight response kicked in when the police came. So yeah, you can never predict how you'll react when the police show up. That's why I'm kind of afraid of having a run-in with the police. I'm afraid that my fight or flight response will kick in the wrong way due to my depression, anxiety, etc. I'm kind of afraid that I will not be able to comply properly, because if you haven't done anything that is, if you haven't done anything wrong and you vaguely match the description of a criminal, you will start panicking, especially if you have anxiety, especially if you have medical conditions that would make spending even one night in jail a disaster. So I can totally see how the police showing up to a protest would cause one's fight or flight response to kick in, and would cause the equivalent of a bar brawl, or such, that would get out of hand in the streets. But that's property crime. That's public disturbance, etc. That's not terrorism on the level that happened in the Capitol earlier this month. That was absolutely terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying. And I've been afraid to speak out about it, honestly, up until now. Considering how many of my friends on Facebook and such are conservative Republicans, who support Trump for the most part, or at least voted for him the first time around because they subscribe to the cult mentality of the Republican Party. Yes, I went ahead and said it. They have an almost cult-like habit of voting for the Republican candidate and following party lines, whether or not it follows their own conscience. Since so many of them are affiliated with the party, and since so many of them are in places of authority in the community, I live in a small town in the Southwest. I don't feel comfortable speaking out about this stuff so much on Facebook or on other platforms associated with my actual name. Anyway, just thought it was high time I posted another little rant to you guys. And it was high time I commented somewhere, both in support of Black Lives Matter and against the violence, well, downright domestic terrorism that occurred in the Capitol earlier this month. I hope you guys are having a wonderful January so far. Yeah, God bless. Bye.